Okay, welcome back to the E-Managerial website. I wish to share with you how can IT contingency plan structure look like. So, so the disaster recovery team need to understand the structure or requirement that need to establish the IT contingency plan. The component start from the one is supporting information to require the business impact analysis information and the POC point of contact list. Maybe the relate to the internal and external person in charge. For example, engage the vendor or the third party to support the activity that described in the plan. And other one is a procedure that require to support the IT contingency plan development. So the development criteria may need two things. One is incorporate BIA finding, whatever that disaster recovery team to conduct the reassessment for all business related activity to measure and to determine whether the business critical function are addressed properly for the alternative solution in case of the primary business activity was not in place, meaning that the system cannot work during the crisis or the function is not work properly. So the contingency plan will activate upon the crisis declaration by the crisis management committee. And the next is a document recovery strategy. This document will describe what system can help the recovery process and what is a business stakeholder need to be coordinated during the crisis period. So the document will describe everything related to the how can we recover the system and also the critical function from the business perspective. So the next component that required to fulfill the plan development is called activation and notification phase. So this area very important that the disaster recovery team need to work with the secretary of the crisis committee to notify or declare the crisis in case of the situation cannot handle in a in a in a a certain period of time. So the committee to decide whether the business need to declare crisis or not in case of the system cannot recover up on the plan, up on a procedure that we described during the reassessment area. So the component to support the activation and notification phase, one is activation criteria. The activation criteria need to present in the procedure and the guideline that let the business unit or business stakeholder need to identify what is the critical function that need to be activated during crisis. And the next is a procedure for notification to all relevant stakeholders involved with the critical function. For example, from the business perspective, the disaster recovery team or coordinator person in charge will engage from business side and technology side to understand what is a system need to be readiness and activity need to be performed by the staff that are present in the disaster recovery plan. So the next is outtake assessment. Outtake assessment it is just a temporary assessment result for the outtake or for the crisis event, whether we can manage or we can do something as a solution for the period of time that incur for the critical function that described in the document recovery strategy plan. So the next module is a recovery phase. After we notify to the all stakeholder to aware the crisis, so the phase that the particular person in charge need to be recovery. One is a business function, other one is a technology function. For the technology function, we need to have the particular team like a network recovery team, like a database recovery team, like IT security recovery team, like system development recovery team, like disaster coordinator. So this is an area that involved with the business stakeholder uh, to understand what is a critical requirement to aware in a situation of crisis. So one is a sequence recovery activity. It means that the micro tasking on the recovery activity from the starting point to the end point. For example, the system recovery that we need to take the manual data backup or real-time replication data backup. We have two scenarios. One is a manual system recovery, and one is an automated system recovery process. So what activity that a scenario defined in the contingency plan. So we need to describe properly and correctly to make sure the system can recover during that time. So the next requirement is a recovery procedure. Recovery procedure will break down for all activity that relate to the system and function that the stakeholder need to aware and fulfill for the requirement. In case of a crisis incur, the procedure will present the person in charge how to recovery and what time and who, when and what. Okay, this is area very important to assess as a interval manner. For example, we can say the assessor can assess every 2 times per year, twice per year, to identify what is a process gap need to be enhancement in the recovery procedure. And the next is escalation and notification. This is very important that we need to involve with the communication channel. What is channel that the stakeholder need to be escalate to the right channel in case of the one function independency on other function or other unit to fulfill on the recovery process. So the escalation very important. So we need to obtain the contact list, a point of contact, or information of the structure that we need to contact, like a call tree procedure, like a system notification process from the automated system. So the next module is reconcile, reconstitute, uh, 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 reconstitution phase. It means that the process that we need to testing, we need to concurrent processing, notification, clean up, offsite data storage, backup and documentation, whatever involved with a clear run process, or we can say the clear backlog process. This is an area that the phase involved with the clear backlog or clean up activity to make sure the business can assume on time based on the critical function that identified in the BIA document. So the supporting document relate to the appendage. Appendage we have three as the major one. One is a BIA business impact analysis appendage, and the second is a point of contact list, both internal and external. Internal we refer to the stakeholder within the organization, within the business unit, and the external we refer to the third party or vendor. So we need to update the contact list in the plan. In case of crisis incur, we take the appendix and refer to the person in charge to handle the activity that we described in the plan. So the next is a procedure. The procedure we may have a different procedure. One, the procedure how to test like a test script descript that we need to predefine what is activity as a micro tasking that a person in charge need to be performed during the crisis. To ensure the plan work properly and effectively, the disaster recovery team will engage with business unit to perform the exercise regularly to identify what is a potential gap in the process that we need to be enhanced in the plan, and the contingency plan need to be verified and assessed independently to provide the opinion how can we improve the plan effectively. Okay, this is the IT contingency plan structure process. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share.